what does a chiropractor do? That's a great question. And there's a lot of mystery, a lot of confusion around this idea. So let's all get on the same page here. So first and foremost, a chiropractor is a nervous system doctor. We're not bone doctors, we're not muscle doctors, we are nervous system doctors. And here's why. Because the nervous system is the one system that controls all the other systems in the body. The nervous system tells the heart to beat, food to digest, your lungs to breathe. It handles everything in the body. And so the premise is the brain needs to be able to communicate with your entire body. It does so by sending a message down the spinal cord, out the nerve, and then into whatever organ or muscle or whatever cell needs to receive that message. So what can happen? What can happen is stressors in life, whether it's physical stress, dietary stress, or emotional stress, can cause some interference and limit the body's ability or the brain's ability to communicate with the body. And so what happens is when these three stressors happen, and I'll explain exactly how this works, but when these three stressors happen, sometimes the spine, it's actually different movable bones stacked on top of each other. Sometimes if they're perfectly lined up here, sometimes they can move out of position. Now, why does that happen? Well, based upon the three stressors, they impact the body in various different ways. They can divert blood flow to different places. They can mess up your hormonal balance. They can mess with the tone of your muscles. So some muscles might be really tight and other ones might be just like real weak. They're not doing their job. And so as all three of these things happen and more, that's what pulls these bones out of position, which puts more pressure on the nerve. So imagine like if there's pressure around a nerve, I don't feel this right away, but eventually if I'm holding tight enough, my hand's gonna get a little cold, maybe a little numb, a little tingling. And eventually, if I hold it tight enough for long enough, I'm gonna notice things like my hand's gonna get really weak, and eventually it's gonna start to atrophy or wither away. So looking at that sounds like a lot of symptoms that people have, doesn't it? You know, we look at tight muscles, but we have to ask the question, why are they tight in the first place? Because there's interference to the nerves going to that muscle. So what we do as chiropractors is we say, okay, the bones should be like this. They're out of position, putting pressure on the nerves. So what we want to do is put them back so that the pressure off the nerve is relaxed, and now this can send its messages properly. Phenomenal system. It works really, really well. In addition to that, we may give you guys advice on nutrition. We may give you advice on ways to handle emotions and to handle just the stresses of life. And then, of course, physical things. We may give you stretches. We may give you lifestyle things to change so that these issues don't come back, which is a great thing because now you have to see us less, and that means you're healthier, and everybody wins that way. So I hope that answers a lot of the questions that people have. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Thank you very much.